What's up? Lord have mercy, y'all. Happy Saturday morning. Happy Saturday morning. Hey, everybody coming in. Listen, JB, you said you just got done the last episode. JB, I can't wait to catch your review. I've been catching Spillet Boys reviews. You know, he been doing them daily. And I'm gonna be honest, I just know that I can't commit to daily, but it is better to do it daily because there's so much going on. The best thing I can do for right now is what I'm doing, but I am enjoying Spiller Boy TVs. If y'all are not watching his daily recaps, y'all make sure y'all are catching it. And he's mixing it up. Like the other day, he did 2 episodes at one time and he did it live. So he's mixing and matching. I'm trying to think who else. I know Shade in the City is doing Beyond the Gates. So first of all, excuse me, y'all. Y'all know I got this lingering situation over here, child. Okay, Mo Walker said, I'm here for the company while I'm drinking my coffee. Yes, I can't do it daily, but I see him and listen. And then somebody had a nerve to drop in his chat the other day trying to defend Haley. And in my mind, I don't know this person. And if you just happen to be lingering in the bushes, or if you are somebody that supports Haley, then I don't want you to get offended by what I'm about to say. But if a hit dog is gonna holler, it's just gonna have to holler. Baby, if you are defending Haley, then I feel like you are homewrecker too. I said it. Hey, Shane the City, what's up for the birthday girl? Because I know that's Trees. One time for the birthday girl. I'll be hanging out with them later on the night. People that defend Haley are Haley. Exactly, Scotty. Hey, Scotty Boo. Yes. If you are defending Haley, then all I can say is you are homewrecker too. Because there's absolutely no defense to Haley. And let me say this too before I get deeper into that. I told y'all last week that Haley is not as innocent as she is pretending to be. All of this, I don't understand. Why can't we just get past this? I don't understand why nobody won't like me. Why won't anybody come to my wedding? Girl, you're not stupid. You're not naive. I understand they're trying to give us this whole orphan girl act or whatever, but Haley ain't stupid. Haley is not dumb. Haley knows exactly what she did. And I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, I need more information. But at this point, I need to go back to the beginning when Haley met Naomi, how they became friends, and how how Haley snaked her way into Naomi's life. Because now I almost feel like it was a setup from the door. No, listen, JB, I'm on Kat's side as well, but I think Kat is doing too much. I understand what Kat is. Listen, Kat is the only one that has clocked Eva. So when all the stuff hit the fan about Eva, baby, she's going to have a one big fat I told you so. But Kat, you doing too much because you know how somebody can be right for the wrong reasons. Girl, you right. Your spidey senses are tingling. But I hate the fact that you just keep attacking her aesthetics like that's the reason. Girl, that's not the reason why your spidey senses are tingling. Your spidey senses ain't tingling because the girl had on some ugly boots and she was inappropriately dressed. Now, I will say that. Eva, you were inappropriately dressed. Y'all, listen, I'm going to just go ahead and tell y'all now. This thing is going to be all over the place. That's why I like doing it live. I have my notes, and I'm going to go down my note sheet. But honestly, y'all, it's just going to have to be a rant. And if any of my content creators who are in the chat, if y'all want to come up, y'all let me know. I can drop the link for y'all. I saw Shade in the City. I saw JB. I saw Scotty. So if any of y'all are watching it and y'all want to come up and y'all want to be a part of the conversation, by all means. By all means. Okay. Yeah, Kat is doing too much, but she's not wrong. And that's the part I don't like. I just don't like that it's coming off as just spoiled, snobby, rich girl kind of vibes. I don't like that. That I don't like. Okay, boo, I'm going to drop the link. Look, y'all, I love y'all, but the link is only for the 3 people I just named. It's either for Scotty, JB, or or Shade in the City. I will do an open panel on Beyond the Gates for everybody to join, but I have a lot to do today, and I just can't do it today, y'all. And I love y'all. Y'all know I do. I'm still trying to get y'all Raising Canaan today. I have a live to do to go over my cruise that I'm doing. And then I got to get out of here and get over to oh, that's the wrong link. I'm sorry. Hold on, JB, baby. That's the link for my Black Girl Vitamins. Hold on, JB. Hold on. Baby, that's the link for Black Girl Vitamins, honey. That's the wrong link, baby. If you want to buy some Black Girl Vitamins, that's the right link. But that ain't the right link to come up here. Hold on. I know JB about to be like, girl. There it is right there, y'all. There it is right there. Y'all, can I tell y'all something? This is a side note. Y'all know my ADHD is kicking in. Listen. Shade in the City, Treese, I'm gonna just say Treese. Treese is having a birthday soiree at her home this evening, right? I believe the people in the South call them kickbacks. I had never heard of a kickback before until I started watching Chasing Atlanta season 1, and they were talking about kickback. I didn't know what the hell the kickback was because we don't call them kickbacks up here. We call them get-togethers. But anyway, so she's having a soiree down to her house, and why the invitation says 6:30? So she had to send me a text last night saying, "Look, girl, dinner ain't starting until 8. I put 6:30 on the invitation, but you tend to be on time. My group of friends usually be late. You tend to be on time. So long as you're there by 8 o'clock, that thing cracked me up." She said, "Girl, don't you be showing up at my house at no 6:30, staring at the wall, staring at me, staring at the wall, trying to figure out why the party ain't started, okay? The 6:30 is for my friends."
Hey, boo. How you doing today?
Excuse me.
Fine.
Well, the tea went down the wrong way. I'm good. This lingering cough is getting on my nerves. I wake up every morning and it feel like I gotta clear my lungs. Once I get it all out, I'm good. But Lord have mercy. I don't know. I said I was gonna go back to the doctor, but my people said that it just lingers. That the COVID just be lingering, child.
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, when I had it, it did linger for a little bit. That cough, I was like, damn, it's not going away.
Yeah, and again, I feel fine. It's just that, and it's only in the morning. Once I get up and get moving, you know. But anyway, local honey. Okay, I do have some honey. I don't know if it's local. Child is probably, well, I know honey don't expire, but. So, JB, how did you feel about week 2? And you said you just got finished watching the last episode. How do you feel about week 2?
Week 2 was really good. And I want to say this real quick to all our people. Y'all, let's support this show. Yes. They came out and had good numbers for week 1. They had almost,
we got to keep it going.
They had almost 3 million views. So we got to keep this show, like Really Be been saying. They ain't got, when it comes to, they ain't got no reason. They don't have any reason to cancel us. They can just say, we're done. This show was really good. Week 2 was good. I don't have one issue with. I have issues with 2 people. Well, 3: Bill, Haley, and Leslie, especially with Friday's episode.
Baby, Leslie crazy as. But listen, Leslie is crazy as a June bug. Do you hear what I'm telling you?
Baby, when that woman,
Leslie.
When messy ass Shanice came to Nicole's office and said, "Nicole, there's a woman on the roof and she's gonna jump." I said, "There ain't nobody but that motherfucking Leslie." I said, "Ain't nobody but Leslie." And then she went up there and I saw that wig. I said, "I knew it."
Yes, that ugly ass wig. So, okay, so when I was looking at Spilly Boy, his theory, and I kind of agree, because I've been trying to figure this. Y'all, we're going to be all over the place. Just put it in the chat. We'll hit it. I have my notes. We're going to be all over the place. But right now, let's talk about crazy ass Leslie. Spilly Boy's theory is that it must have been like a one-night stand type situation where he went his way and she went her way. My theory, and I think, I don't want to steal it from one of my subscribers. I think it might have been Xavier it was somebody last week said maybe Dr. Richardson's brother was a twin. The brother that they keep talking about, maybe he was a twin, and maybe it ain't even him, it's the brother.
It's something that we ain't figuring out, because for her to have, I mean, the way that we saw with Ted and the way he is with Kat and with Martin, he's a loving, doting father. Even if he don't want to be with Leslie, I feel like he still would have taken care of his responsibility with his kid.
And for him not to even recognize her, he has seen this woman at least twice at this point. For him not to even blink when he sees her tells me, it had to either have been a one-night stand or it wasn't him. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't buying everything with Dr. Richardson.
Me
I ain't
either.
buying this. Oh, my wife, I love you so much, and every time they see each other, they gotta have a whole moment and how much they love each other. Yeah, I ain't buying that bullshit. But I
Me
think
either.
that's gonna come later. I think it's enough storylines going on right now. I think that's
Mhm.
something they'll put in the back burner. They'll put that in reserve. That Nicole and her husband's marriage ain't as perfect as they pretending it is. But I just ain't buying it. I don't know. Okay, Shades City said she think it's a one night stand too.
See, I don't know if I think it's a one night stand or if it's something that we miss. I don't know if it's a one night stand because not Bill, but Ted, from what I'm seeing so far, he doesn't give the vibe of a one night stand. Like the way
Yeah,
he says he courted Nicole,
yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
really give that vibe. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he is like his nephew was once a hoe and now reformed. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
You know what? Pushing forward, you're right. They did show that in the preview for next week. He does know her. You're right. You are.
Mm.
They did show that next week because next week, he does confront her. You're right. I forgot about that. So I forgot about that. Okay, so maybe it was a one night stand type situation.
But I am
Maybe he knew
super.
her ass was crazy then.
I'm pretty sure he probably knew that because I mean the way this woman, wow. Because me
Yeah,
and Harold been talking on social media about it because Harold has been coming for Cat a little bit. Which again, here's the thing: when it comes to Cat is wrong in the way that she is coming at Eva, but
yeah.
also, like you said a few minutes ago, the way that Eva has been dressing, it's like, girl, even on Nicole said, I told her to dress how she wants to dress. Girl, you still in the fucking hospital.
Well,
You
not
don't
only
walk
that, but
around.
even when they say it's a casual environment, that just means I don't expect you to have to come in here in no three piece, what's them suits, those expensive St. John suits every week. Like I'm
They been
just
throwing
saying
her
that,
the
if you want
cleavage
to wear
out.
slacks and a blouse, or if you want to wear maybe even jeans on Friday, that does not mean come in here with your belly out. And I
Exactly.
mean, I wasn't tripping over the boots as much as just the whole outfit to me was just inappropriate.
It was very inappropriate. I was like, I get
It's
that.
definitely not how I would have dressed on the first day of work, not
Exactly.
knowing what the vibe was.
Here's the thing. They don't find this which I know they probably don't, but don't nobody find it suspicious that excuse me, that Laura has an accident and now this woman just mysteriously shows which I know that her assistant, the other woman that works with her, you know, vouched for Eva, but don't nobody find that shit suspicious. I know Eva found it suspicious when she was eavesdropping on what is Naomi's husband's name again? I forget whatever. But when Naomi's husband was talking to Ted earlier this week about him trying to find a plate and he couldn't find it, and she knows that Leslie rents bikes, and
Yes,
she's
yes,
fun at
yes, yes.
Leslie.
But listen, let me tell you something. Even though, because Eva already know her mama is a little unhinged. Even though, and here's what's gonna be the problem with Eva. Eva wants a relationship with
She
that man.
does.
And the nicer that they are to her, the more and more her wall, you see it in her face.
Mhm.
Her walls are coming down because the nicer, and I won't even say nicer they are, but the more
Welcoming.
appropriate they are in how they're handling the situation with the daughter,
Also, can I say this? Gonna again, I like everybody on this show, but what is the purpose of Ashley and Derek?
Listen, I told y'all that last week. I didn't even remember them people name. Y'all had to tell me in the chat what them people name was.
Baby,
I
I
don't
don't.
even know. The only thing I can think of is the whole Andre of it all. But if I'm being honest, I don't feel like they needed the Ashley Derek storyline to give us the Andre moment, because Danny is gonna work Andre over all by
He
herself.
sure is.
We do not need that. They give us nothing. Not the DEI hires.
I'm hollering at the DEI hires. I can't with you, Harold. Not today. But that's what I was thinking. Like, that's
And
what
I
I was
don't even.
thinking.
And why are they turning Ashley into like this queen? Oh my gosh, she's so great. She's so perfect. Like
Because
what?
he delivered that woman, baby.
Right. Like
All is because of a babe. I mean, I get it. It was, unforeseen circumstances, but goddamn, y'all act like this woman is Mother Teresa.
so Xavier said her purpose is to sleep with Andre and to show he's a slut. First of all, we don't care about him being a slut. Men don't get the same moniker as women get when it comes to them being a slut. Second of all, again, I think it does more damage that he is sleeping with his de facto sister-in-law. I mean, auntie, because that Danny is his auntie by marriage.
It is.
So I think that does more damage to Andre than him sleeping with. Who cares about him sleeping with Ashley?
Not I.
Don't nobody care about Ashley and Ashley sleeping with Andre except for Derek, and we don't care about Derek. So
definitely don't care about Derek.
You know,
every time they come on my screen, I'm like, oh, here go the white peoples.
Oh, Powerful says she's gonna end up falling for him. So you think that Danny's gonna end up falling for Andre? I think Andre's gonna be a good distraction.
When it comes to Danny and Andre, I think it's gonna blow up eventually because I feel like this is a way for her to get over Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. A good distraction.
It's to get over. Which Bill pissed me off in yesterday's episode. Oh, if I could reach to the TV screen and slap the hell out of Bill, I would. I don't know.
We already know who Bill is. Bill is going to be the consummate villain.
He is.
You know what I mean? Bill is the Victor Newman. Bill is the Angela Channing. Bill is the give me another one, child. Bill is
from Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, the JR. I mean the JR Ewing. Like Bill is going to be that MFer. You know, and every time you think he's emptied the clip, he gonna have a few more in his back pocket. You know what I mean?
I got a question for you when it comes to Bill and Haley. Do you think Haley is as naive as she is coming off?
Absolutely not. I've been saying that since last week. Absolutely not. Haley is not naive at all. I don't believe this whole I'm an orphan. I don't know my parents. I don't. And like I was saying a few minutes ago, I almost feel like Stefano, yes. I almost feel like now, when I look back on it now, it was just way too convenient. I almost feel like this whole her becoming Naomi's friend might have been a setup. Like I'm side-eyed because again, you're not this stupid, you're not this naive. I would believe her more if she played the part like, you know what, I did it. Mm-hmm. He's mine. You might have had him once, but I got him all the time. Like I would almost wish that she stood in her villainness, but her playing this naive, it makes me believe that you knew what you were doing, and because you're not that naive. Even with the like, you went through this whole thing with the wedding. Literally, Bill had to blackmail them people to come to your wedding, and now you're talking about I want to have a housewarming, and I'm going to invite the whole neighborhood, girl.
When she said that, I looked at her like, "Bitch, are you that? You can't be that stupid, Haley."
Right? Like, come on. Like
these people don't like you. The only reason why anybody in this community came is because of this family and their connection to this country club. Outside of that, your wedding would have been empty like it was when everybody left after Danny pulled the gun.
Okay, that's exactly what that wedding would have looked like. Okay.
And then when he gave her a credit card with no limit, I was like, girl, if you are even though you work for him, if you are stupid enough to quit your job, then I don't feel nothing for you.
Well, I had that on my notes, so let's go there then. That's in my notes. Let's talk about the control of it all. Mm-hmm. Bill is controlling Haley, and he is putting her in a box that she doesn't even see because it's a gilded cage. He's literally putting her in a gilded cage. Number one, we ain't gonna talk about how he got her to marry him in the first place. I'd be willing to bet that it was mutual combat. Like he was coming for her, she was coming for him for their own personal reasons, but when he gave her that credit card, and then when you hear him say, this is what freedom looks like, that is not freedom. You're giving me a credit card, and you say you never have to worry about the statement. You never have to. How is that freedom when you're giving me a credit card that I can spend whenever, however I want? That's not freedom.
Freedom is having your own money.
Right, because the minute you get mad at me, now all of a sudden I got to be held accountable. You can cut it off whenever you feel like cutting it off, all of that. But I even paid attention to something a little more subtle. When Danny went over there and she was confronting, not really confronting Haley, but she was letting Haley know, you know, I'm you stay away from me, I stay away from you. Mm-hmm. She looked around the house and she knew exactly that house had been decorated
because it's what he did to her.
Else, and she knew exactly who it was, and she was like, that is what and again, I saw that's very subtle. That is the control. That is what he does.
Yeah. Because I think they also hinted at it that's exactly what Bill did to Danny. Danny was a famous model. She got with Bill. She married Bill. Bill wanted her to stop being a model to live up to this image for him and raise their kids, and he's gonna do the same exact thing. This is why I say when I don't think Haley is naive, but I do think that the bitch is dumb. I do think she's dumb as fuck. Because if you don't see the similarities between you and Danny, he's going to do it. The same thing he did to her, he will eventually at some point do it to you. The writings are on the wall.
Now this, okay, thank you, Xavier. So, and yeah, the writings are definitely on the wall. So one of the things I put in my notes was the one thing I like about Beyond the Gates, and this is only going to apply to the people who grew up watching soaps at their granny's house or whatever. It has a really good combination of that old school soap opera element, and they've infused some new stuff. Like with showing people on FaceTime and
Yes,
some of the things that they do. Because when I tell you the way they drug out that wedding on Monday, I said if this ain't classic soap opera where they give you the cliffhanger on Friday and all day Monday, you talking about what you saw on Friday. Baby, the way they drug out Danny and that daggone weapon and them holding it, baby, the way they drug that wedding out. Now,
I was here for it though.
That's what I said. That's that old school soap. Like if you don't feel old school soap, you're not gonna feel it. But baby, I was feeling it. Okay. But that's the other thing too. What Xavier just said in the chat. He said, "Well, whatever happened to the honeymoon to Italy?" That's that soap opera. They've got to keep, for the writing purposes, they got to keep Bill and Haley in town for a little bit because that's the drama right now. That's the story. Right. Now they're going to eventually go on that honeymoon. They're going to come up with a reason why they got extended. They'll eventually go, but they really can't afford for those characters to go away right now. No. Because I was saying the same thing. I was like, well, why are y'all still here?
I knew why they were still there. I was like, they dragging it out.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with what Bill did to Danny yesterday. They were dragging it out for that particular reason. Bill wants his he's not leaving until he gets his get back with the Duprees and more specifically Danny, because he feel like, oh, how dare I blackmail your family to come to my wedding, and then you want up my wedding and pull out a damn gun and decide that you want to shoot? Oh no, it's far from over. So Bill is being calculated. The one thing although I don't like Bill, the man is calculated. And he is a smart villain. He is up there with, your Stefano DeMiras. He's up there with your Adam Chandlers. He's up there with your Victor Newmans. He's up there with them in being manipulative as fuck, right? So I knew why they drug it, because I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, one Bill and Hayes supposed to go on their honeymoon, but then I thought about it, I'm like, nah, they ain't going on their honeymoon for a while.
Yeah, they I mean, they can't. I mean, honestly, they really can't for a while because, again, they're the drama.
They're the focal point for us.
They're the drama. So let me start with my notes then. We just kind of. So let me, and I'm gonna listen, y'all. Like I said, for those of you that are just coming in, the best I can give y'all is just take these random notes as I'm watching the episodes so we can have a conversation. Okay, it's a lot going on. It's a soap opera. You got 500 storylines. If I can't do it every day, it's all over the place. I agree. And let me say this too before I get into my notes. Let me say this too. For the people who are criticizing Beyond the Gates, let's be clear. You have every right to feel the way you feel. That's fine. I ain't about to sit here and tell nobody what to like and what not to like. But what you will not do, what you will not do is compare what we have been watching for the past 2 weeks down to the Beyond the Gates, down to the Merlin, to what Tyler Perry puts out. Let me tell you what you will not do. Don't be sitting here talking about it look like a Tyler Perry production. No, it does not.
It is better than a Tyler Perry production.
Okay? The wigs alone don't put it in the right category. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Now, y'all ain't gotta like it, but what you won't do. Now, moving right along. Okay.
Because let me address that too, because I want to talk about that. Because I saw people compare it to Tyler Perry production. I'm like, have y'all not been watching fucking Sisters? I had to drop Sisters because it was so terrible. The writing was terrible.
Me too.
The acting was like, Karen has been pregnant for 4 or 5 seasons.
She's still pregnant? She had that baby yet.
Karen is still pregnant.
When I stopped watching the show, and I probably stopped 3 seasons ago. I'm not even exaggerating. I stopped season 2, maybe season 2 and 2.5. I don't remember. She was just finding out she was pregnant.
Karen is still pregnant.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Karen is still pregnant with them twins. The last time I watched somebody's review, They were like, Karen's still pregnant. I got in the comments and I said, Karen is still pregnant. I said, when I dropped that shit last season that she was pregnant. Yep, Karen is still pregnant on that show. So if y'all cannot know the difference between, and Tyler Perry takes his storylines from some other soap operas. I told y'all that before. Like this Karen storyline, that Karen storyline came from Days of Our Lives. Like her storyline is from Days of Our Lives. I remember when it happened. I watched it. When I saw Karen, I said she was pregnant with twins. I was like, oh, this is Days of Our Lives. Sammy being pregnant by EJ and Lucas.
Oh, okay. See, I don't watch Days of Our Lives.
Like, you know, it's so I watch. I mean, I pretty much watch all of them. I love, when I say I love soap operas, I love them. That's why.
Yeah, I started watching. I was reviewing Sisters in the beginning, and I was getting really good views. When I say I was getting great views, I was getting good numbers. But after like season 2, when I tell you my numbers went from here to here, and at first I was like, YouTube must be messing up my algorithm. How I go from getting 3,000 and 4,000 views on a video to 200 and 300 views? But I said, well, but then people was like, no. I started hearing more and more people saying they stopped watching the show. I said, oh, that's why. Nobody care about this show no more.
Because they repeat the same. They stay on the same day for a whole season, and then it's the same storyline. It never moves. He forgets stuff. He writes something into the storyline. Then he never comes back to it, like with the haves and have-nots. Baby, I was so happy when that show ended.
And the have and have-nots was, I stopped watching. I left the have and have-nots and tried to come back, and baby, I could not. I just
It was terrible.
There's no cohesiveness. Like you said, it's almost like he forgot what he wrote. And but see, that's the problem with not having a writing room, or if you have a writing room that's scared to lose their job, so they'll say nothing. That's why they say he don't use union workers, because they don't have that. Anyway, I ain't gonna get on no Tyler Perry rant.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, but okay. So let me go to my notes. Okay. So the first thing I have in my notes, we kind of already talked about it. Wedding, no one got shot. I told y'all last week, nobody gonna get shot.
I knew, but I was pissed.
It's too early for us to have a major. Even if it had been Haley, it's too early for that. You know, because again, most of us wouldn't give a damn. So it's too early for us to give us the whole. I knew it was just gonna be a whole lot of fluff. What I did not see was the live streaming. I didn't anticipate the whole live.
I didn't either. That was shocking.
That's that new piece, like that modern 2025 infusion to it, where you have Naomi who vlogs her whole life because she's a social media content creator who literally, I mean, the way the camera was propped was really perfect. However, it is realistic to think something like that could happen. Somebody's live, an event happened, they just dropped their phone because there's too much going on, and they forget they on live. It could happen.
It could. I thought that was a good thing to write in that Chelsea did that, because I was like, but I noticed when she was, she was sitting
Chelsea, my bad, Chelsea.
She was sitting like this, so I was like, oh, she is live streaming it. But I'm like, of all the things to live stream, you gonna live stream your daddy's wedding to Haley?
Yeah, now that I didn't understand why she was particularly live streaming the wedding. I didn't understand that. Okay.
Yeah, but it was a good aspect, though. And then how the family had to maneuver around that. I think they did a good job.
And you know what else I think was good about that? Again, we're still getting to know these families. We're still getting to understand what's going on. And I think including some Black folk, if I'm being honest, I think it's still hard for a lot of people to understand how a Black family could have that level of power. So I think that was a good way of showing just how powerful the Duprees are in this community. They call a press conference, they go back to the scene of the crime, and to be real about it, they had done a really good job of spinning it. Even Danny went up there, like they did a really good job of spinning it. I mean, we're gonna get back to Mr. Cop in a minute, but even to the point where the cop, was intimidated to even put his hands on her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it shows how powerful this family is, and I love seeing it. I love seeing this wealth. I love all of it, because I wasn't expecting them to. Because when Vernon was talking about it, he was like, "We got to do something. We got to get us." I wasn't thinking about that, but I was like, "This is giving very much so Olivia Pope scandal." You get ahead of your story before anybody else had, because especially in this day and age, it was already on social media. It was going viral. So they're like, you know what? To take control of the narrative, let us get in front of it, speak to it, which I don't know how you could. The way they flipped it was good because I don't know how you can flip. I mean, I think the good thing was even though Vernon didn't want Nicole to say anything, the fact that Nicole got up there and said, this is an unforeseen circumstance. Like my sister is at her ex-husband's wedding, and I mean she just basically lost, a little blip, reality for a little bit, which is true. Because this is definitely unforeseen, especially with Bill blackmailing them.
Yeah, and of course that was the elephant in the room that they really couldn't speak on. Because I mean, if it was me, my question, like that reporter, okay, but why were you there?
Yeah, but I wanted her to shut up because I was like, bitch, shut up. This ain't got nothing to do with you. But I get it, she was doing her job. But I was like, bitch, if you don't shut up, and you a sister, and you a sister.
But it's always one, honey. It's always one. Okay, so I wrote that on here. See, I'm going right down my notes. Okay. Now I wrote Danny and Andre. We kind of already touched on the whole Danny and Andre thing, but where do you feel like this is going with the Danny Andre? Because honestly, right now, Danny got Andre wide open. But do you think he'll be
one of them gonna catch feelings?
Okay.
I think one of them gonna catch feelings, and I honestly think it's gonna be Andre.
I feel like Andre. If I go back, and again, this is me adding my 20 on 10. Andre has known her. So I'm wondering if this is like a crush that he's had that he's now like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Because, I mean, he grew up in his family. He's known Danny. But I definitely feel like there's some feelings there. And I do feel like Andre's nose is wide open. Because let's not remember, every hoe has an Achilles heel.
Yeah.
And Danny might be, I mean, let's be clear, Andre a hoe now. Is it me or does Andre give you vibes of the Tate brothers? He looks, and I had to Google it. Like, is he one of the Tate brothers? Because he very much reminds me of a young Lorenz Tate.
Yep, Lorenz. That's what I was thinking. I was looking at. I saw somebody tweet about that. Lorenz Tate Jr.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all ain't right, but I do see it. Like, I do see it. Did you watch All My Children?
Yeah, you see, my boy is on there. We're gonna get to him, but you see, my boy is on there.
John Lindstrom.
Yes.
I saw. I was like, I knew he was on there because I watched that special the week before, so I already knew he was gonna be on there. I didn't know because I'm used to him on General Hospital as Kevin Collins. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, when I went from a doctor to
a thug. He going.
I love it. But what I will say is, so on All My Children, Danny and Andre are giving me, which I hated when they wrote this storyline because I thought it was the most disgusting storyline, is giving me Erica and Ryan when they hooked up.
I remember that. I remember when Erica and Ryan hooked up. It is disgusting. Somebody in the chat said it doesn't matter. It's disgusting. And it is disgusting to think of Danny sleeping with somebody who, probably played with her kids. Right. You're right. It is. And I don't think they're spending enough time on that, which I think will, once it's exposed, which it will be exposed.
It's going to be exposed.
It'll come out. Like, I feel like that's going to be maybe a riff we're going to see with her and Nicole. Like, that's definitely going to be a moment with her and Nicole when that comes out.
Because Scotty said that he loved Kendall on All My Children. So here's the thing with All My Children. I was a Greenlee fan. I went up for Greenlee. Me and my best friend used to watch All My Children.
Oh, Greenlee. Oh, I remember Greenlee.
My best friend loved Kendall. I loved Greenlee. I hated Kendall for a very long. Oh, I hated Kendall. I could not stand Kendall because I wanted Greenlee to be with Ryan so badly. I was a team Greenlee and Ryan.
She wanted her some Ryan, honey.
And my best friend loved Kendall and Ryan together. But then when Greenlee and Ryan became friends with each other, that's when I started fucking with Kendall more. Because when I first started watching All My Children, because I couldn't stand Erica and I couldn't stand Kendall, but I loved Bianca. Bianca was the only one.
I think that's a better example. Ned and Monica.
Yes.
I think that's a better one. Boo. I forgot Ned and Monica.
I forget about Ned and Monica, but then I remember Ned and Monica because I still watch GH and they talk about it every now and
again. Me too. I still watch GH too.
I love GH. Rest in peace to Leslie Charleston.
Yes. We done love her and Bobby.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Leslie Charleston. But yeah, Monica, when she lets us know, this is my house that Alan gave to me. Girl, we know Alan gave you this goddamn house. You don't have to remind us.
Baby, if I had $1 for every time she reminded them that was her house, baby. And I used to love me some Allen, baby. When Lucy had Allen nose wide open, baby, that was some good stuff. That was some good soap opera.
Yeah, baby, I had not watched GH this week, but because I've been, and that's a that's another thing when it comes to Beyond the Gates and General Hospital, they come on at the same they're competition with each other. But I'm
Right.
sorry, but Beyond the Gates come first, and then I have to guess GH. But I saw some of the people from like the girl who plays Carly. She gave him a shout out last week.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, I think one of the worst mistakes that, and again, we going left, but I as somebody who grew up watching soaps, who loved soaps, who still loves soaps, I think one of the worst mistakes that these networks made was was canceling all these soaps and going to a lot of daytime television.
And they've canceled all of them.
And I think a lot of them are regretting it because a lot of these shows they put in place either didn't last or ain't no good. I will say this. The soap opera network was ahead of its time because I don't know if you remember. I know you remember, JB. When they canceled One Life to Live and All My Children, they continued it on soap. They continued it on Soap Opera Network, and you had to but it was ahead of its time. See, nowadays that would work.
The interesting thing about that was when they canceled it because it was before streaming became a big thing, and then maybe a year later, that's when people were really starting. Because I remember it was Orange Is the New Black. People were binging that on Netflix, and that was so popular. And then
if they were to do that today, if they were to cancel because the good thing was when they canceled All My Children and One Life to Live, and they put it on Soap Opera Network, and you had to catch it at night, or the streaming, you had to catch it at night because I watched it.
I did too.
They were able to be more adult. They focused on the younger generation more. They could cuss, that kind of stuff. They had a little more freedom. But because it was so ahead of their time, this was before people were comfortable. And again, you got to remember the older generation. Like I'm speaking for my mom. My mom followed it over there, but she just couldn't get into the rhythm of watching it at night.
Right.
She, she just couldn't get it. But again, if they were to do that today, right. If they were to do that today, it would work.
Yeah.
It was just ahead of its time.
It was. It really was. But I will say when they took All My Children was my baby. I loved
Me too.
All My Children was my baby. When I read they canceled it, I said, "What?"
And what's funny is I watched all three, and out of the three, General Hospital was my least favorite out of the three.
So
All My Children was first for me. One Life to Live was second for me, and then General Hospital. And again, I liked all three. But if you would ask me which one I was going to watch first, I was going to watch All My Children before I watched any of them.
Oh yeah, All My Children was first. It was All My Children, General Hospital, then One Life to Live for me. But I love them all the same. But
that Nikki got me every time, honey. You never knew who the hell you was talking to.
And then when they did it with Jessica, that's the other thing that I will say. I hope Beyond the Gates don't do anything like that because we've done that for over 20, 30 years at this point. We've done it with Vicky. We've done it with Jessica. We did it on General Hospital with Connie. We've done it on Days of Our Lives. We've done that DID storyline so many times. I'm sick of it. Like I can always spot when DID is coming. Even Luke did it. They even did it with Luke.
Did they?
Because if you remember, it was, oh God, what year was it? They did it with Luke because there was an evil, we thought it was an evil Luke.
I do remember now, evil Luke. Yeah.
But I remember actually now. It was something that happened to him in his childhood.
Yeah, the thing. Yeah, I remember that now.
It wasn't a twin. Now. It was just Luke had DID, and so they had to integrate him. I was like, oh God, I hate when they do this. I hate when they do that. But oh God, I hate when they do it on soap.
Shall we listen? You can tell y'all talking to some soap heads over here, honey. Okay.
But yeah, I just want one more thing.
Go ahead, boo. Go ahead.
When it comes down to the All My Children reboot, I did not like it because it felt like it just the whole aesthetic. Well, you know what it was. I think they had broke down the set, so they had to recreate the set, and everything just seemed different. Now, I did like the reboot of One Life to Live. I watched that one more than I did All My Children, and I was always an All My Children head.
My problem with the reboot of All My Children was I think they moved too fast. Like you moved too fast to push the old heads out and bring the new people in. We didn't know them. We didn't have a connection to them. Like you gave us all these young characters that we were like, who are you? Why are you here? Like we know that soap operas are good for aging people, but people went from literally 5 years old to 16 and like, whoa. Yeah. I think they did. I think if it had been more gradual, I think But yeah, I agree with you. I tried to hang in there because of my, I just love those shows. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was just ahead of its time. It was just
It was
very much, and I
commitment and
felt like
love.
that was rushed. I felt like that reboot was rushed because they got such pushback behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I hope that with Beyond the Gates, it opens up the door for more soap operas to come, even if they go
Mm,
on, do it streaming or whatever. I hope this opens up the door because they saw. I know the reason why they canceled As the World Turned, Guiding Light, All My Children One Life. I know that they canceled it because of it was cheaper to produce like The Talk and The Chew
yeah.
and whatever
Yeah, it
other
was
shows
cheaper
that
to
came out.
produce.
It was cheaper to produce those shows, but The Chew was The Chew and what's The Talk were the only two that were the ones that lasted, but they still eventually canceled both of those because they weren't
And the
they
Chew
weren't
the Chew was canceled like maybe 3 seasons. It didn't last too long. That's why
it
we
did.
got 5 hours of Good Morning America because they don't have nothing else to put in those time slots.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, Good Morning America lasts from like 6 a.m. to like 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
And the
not
same
that much,
on
right? It's not
same
that
with NBC.
much.
Same with NBC. They don't have anything but the Today Show because with them taking Days of Our Lives off and putting it on Peacock, they ain't got nothing in their daytime slot.
Bring
But
them back. Bring them
I
back. But
think that
see,
this,
I'm gonna say this: if Beyond the Gates can sustain the success, I think it might usher in a new era of soaps. I'm not saying all of them are gonna be black, but I'm
yeah,
saying it may usher in a new era of soap operas
mm-hmm.
because if they can see where it's successful and they can make money off of it, because again, literally. When you look at ABC and NBC, like you said, there's literally so much dead air. Because honestly, who the hell is watching who is watching Good Morning America until 2 o'clock? Like who's
Exactly.
doing that?
Nobody.
So that's another listen for all of y'all that love soap operas. That's another reason why we gotta support it, not just because it's black, although that's the main reason. But if y'all want to see more soaps, I do think this is sort of a litmus test to see who all will come. If they build it, will they come? Kind of thing. And I love the way that they're giving us cameos of our faves because yes, that was Dixie Martin. Yes, we do have our boy from. I would hope. Let me tell you. I think we'll see more cameos from old school soaps. I think y'all know who I think we might see. We might see Jesse from All My Children, and let me tell you why we might see Jesse from All My Children. Jesse, that's not the guy that plays Jesse, Darnell Green.
I thought Doug. I kept looking at him. I'm like, is that Darnell? Jesse. Right. I kept looking at him. I'm like, they kind of look alike.
Well, the reason why I say that is because he posted something on his social media last week. It was a throwback picture of him. Mm-hmm. Like when during his Jesse era, and then it was a picture of him now, and it was something like, I don't remember the exact language, but it was almost like, before now, old school, new school, like something along those lines. Okay. And it made me side eye like Donnell Williams. I said Donnell Green. I'm thinking about the football player, Dale Green. But my bad, Donnell Williams. Thank you, boo. Thank you, below. But it almost made me side eye a little bit, like, okay, where we getting this from? Right. Where we getting this from?
Now
So I'm wondering if we might get a little cameo or something.
We could.
Because I'm telling y'all mark my words. Ted Richardson, is that the doctor?
Yeah.
His brother ain't dead.
You don't think
I don't know when they're gonna bring him back. I don't know how they're gonna bring him back, but his brother ain't dead. I don't believe it.
Well, you know what? Since we didn't see it, and y'all know it's soap opera, if you don't see a body.
It's a soap opera. I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. Because the one thing I do not think they're gonna rush storylines. No. I think they're gonna go at a good pace. So I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but I definitely think that is something they'll keep in their back pocket. Because we didn't see it. He died in a plane crash. That's the oldest soap opera ploy right now.
It is.
He living down in Argentina somewhere.
No, there is somebody. She ain't black, but there is somebody that I do want to see on soap operas because the way that General Hospital did her was fucked up. Kelly Monaco, who played Samantha McCall.
So what? Okay, so they killed her. She didn't leave the show.
They fired her.
Oh, I didn't know that. Why did they fire her? What happened?
After 21 years, they fired Kelly Monaco.
But why? Like they didn't give a reason.
I don't know. She may have a reason, but in a soap world, we just know that she got fired and the way that they wrote her story, the way that they wrote that
I knew
storyline.
that. I didn't like her storyline. I didn't like the way she was written off, but I thought she chose to leave. See, I don't read a lot of the. I used to read Soap Opera Digest and all that stuff. I haven't really been keeping up. I did not know that.
They fired her. She was
It's
fired.
got to be something we don't know. It's got to be something behind the scenes because she's been there for too long.
She was there for 21 years and they fired. She got fired. Because she got fired from General Hospital. That's why they killed Sam. They fired her.
Wow, I did not know they fired her. Okay. Well, damn. Wow. Okay, I might have to do some research on that thing. I will say this too. Damn, I lost my train of thought. Somebody said something. Wait a minute. At Andre's parents, somebody said, damn. Anyway, I remember it. I lost my train of thought, but it was something along the lines of what you just said about with Kelly. Oh, no, I know what I was going to say. I almost feel like soap operas, I'm going to say this and then we'll get back to the notes. Okay. I almost feel like soap operas might have missed their window, and I'm going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. When all these people have been working from home these last 4 or 5 years, and that was the time to bring soaps back. You got an audience sitting right there.
It was. But I will also say, after this we can get back to, because we pivot so much, but it's fine. I think a lot of things in the soap world, because Steve Burton, who plays Jason.
I'm listening. Just keep talking. I'm listening.
Steve Burton, who played Jason, he got fired during COVID, and so did.
He couldn't take the vaccine.
Yeah, him and Jack, the guy who played Jax, they both got fired because they didn't want to take the vaccine. So I think you would have ran into issues with that too during the pandemic, where you would have had anti-vaxxers who didn't want to take the damn vaccine. And that's crazy. General Hospital fired that man, and they don't brought him back again to be Jason Morgan, aka Stone Cold from that Spinelli, named him. I have a love-hate with Jason. I have a love-hate with Jason and Sonny and Carly.
Listen, me too. Because Carly, Carly was the one you loved to hate, but especially that first Carly. Baby, when I tell you that first Carly played the hell out that role.
When I tell you Carly we get off track, but Carly pisses me off, and it's really with Nina. If y'all watch General Hospital, she pisses me off when it comes to Nina because of shit that you've done. You've done worse than Nina. You've done worse than Nina.
Child, Carly's done worse than everybody.
You slept with your stepfather to get back at your mama for giving you up for adoption. Girl,
child.
Carly is such a hypocrite, but I do love Carly, but she's such a fucking hypocrite.
I love her. Yeah, that first Carly was everything, honey. Yeah. Child, JB, we just need to do a whole conversation on souls. We can do this.
Right. If y'all can't tell, I tell people like I'm 35, but I've been watching soap opera since I was yay high. Because I remember watching it with my big mama. She used to watch them. She would let me watch my cartoons in the morning, early part of the morning when I'll be staying with her. And then when all my children and stuff come on, give me the TV because we're gonna watch this together. I'm like, well, I didn't know, I don't want to watch this because I don't know what this is. But that's where I got my love for soap operas from. And then I came back when I was in 2000 for Passions. So Passions is really what started my love of soap operas. Passion started.
I'm sorry. I thought my bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good. But your Passion started my love of soap operas. Then I moved to General Hospital because of Kirsten Storms. I love Kirsten Storms. So when she started playing Maxie, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna follow her over there because I follow her from Days of Our Lives. Actually, no, it was Passions, then Days of Our Lives, then General Hospital, then I went to All My Children, then I went to Young and the Restless. Now I don't stick. Young and the Restless, I can't never stay committed to the Young and the Restless. That is the only one that I can't stay committed to. And I know people are like, you should watch, my cousin like, you should watch The Bold and the Beautiful. I was like, girl, I don't know shit about The Bold and the Beautiful.
I don't know shit about The Bold and the Beautiful. Let me tell you something. Okay, so we're going to do this and then we can do a whole nother live where we can just talk about soaps. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking about the people in the chat asking the questions now.
Okay.
So I started watching soaps at my godmother's house. I used to go to my godmother's house for every Christmas break. For every holiday. If we had a long weekend, I was at my godmama's house. Mm-hmm. Christmas break, spring break, summertime, I was at my godmother's house the whole summer. And she watched soaps. And I think I told y'all this before. we could do whatever we wanted to do, but it cannot happen between the hours of 1 and 4
Mhm.
because we were gonna be back home. We could get up in the morning. She would take me to the movies. We would go out to breakfast. Whatever we wanted to do, we had to do it, baby. We was gonna be back home in front of that TV by 12:30 because she used to watch Ryan's Hope, All My Children, One Life to Live,
My
and
mom
Jeffrey
watched
Dahmer.
them.
She watched them straight through.
See, my mom told me about Ryan's Hope, but I'm too young to know anything. Ryan's Hope
And
was
then
before
Loving
my
came
time.
on after Ryan's Hope.
Yeah, those were before my time, but I've heard about them from my mama and my grandma. They were religious to them. I was like,
And because, and this was before DVRs and stuff, but because every holiday I was there, she would just give me, listen, she would just get me caught up. So I don't remember my first storyline that I fell in love with, but you know what? It probably was Jesse and Angie.
You know, so I didn't get introduced to Angie and Jesse until they came back.
Oh no! I remember them.
When I got
Jesse was the thug. Angie daddy was the cop. He ain't want Angie with Jesse. It was that whole Romeo and Juliet thing. Yes. And then Angie got pregnant. Ooh.
Yeah, my mama told. So when it's so funny. I was watching All My Children. My mama came by my room. She said, "Is that Jesse?" I said, "Yes." She's like, "I thought he was dead." I said, "He back the light."
He died, but he can't. He was in protective custody.
Yeah, and she told me the whole. She's like, "Me and your big mama, we used to watch that." She told me the whole storyline about Jesse and Angie. I was like, I've heard it now because I was getting that. Yeah,
now Luke and Laura did not age well. I wasn't around for the beginning of Luke and Laura, but I remember that. Remember, Luke and Laura's wedding was well, I'm older than you, child. Luke and Laura's wedding shut down. It shut down soap operas. But I wasn't there at the beginning. So when I found out how they got together, I was like,
about to say, my mama them
that didn't age well.
It didn't. The fact that my mama them was because my mom was like Luke and Laura. We loved. Again, my mama and my mama loved Luke and Laura. And then when I finally heard the story, I was like, y'all love that?
Listen, but back then, listen.
Y'all love the man that assaulted a woman? I was like,
maybe that didn't age well. That didn't age well at all. But I wasn't there at the beginning. I did not know. Honestly, I didn't find out how they first hooked up until hell damn that they was getting a divorce. So I wasn't there at the beginning. And I was like, Sonny, but remember Sonny, how we got introduced to Sonny? Sonny was the drug dealer that was pimping out old girl at his strip club. And now we love Sonny. I know I do.
When it comes to Sonny, I love Sonny, but Sonny is, for him to be as old as he is, Sonny go through the women's. He go through them, and they fall hook, line, and sinker for Sonny. Even me, a crazy ass.
Listen, I don't even usually. I would listen. Sonny can have me. And I don't even normally go that way, but
only woman that Sonny has ever been with that I can't stand is Ava Jerome. When I tell you, I hate that.
I can't stand Ava. She is a waste. Why is she here, Ike? Why is she here, Ike?
I hate Ava with a passion.
Yeah, Sonny's bipolar in real life. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, in real life, and he talks about it. He has a whole podcast that he does.
Yeah, I know he has a podcast because
I follow him on. I follow his TikTok. He is hilarious on his TikTok. He is always with his granddaughter, and clearly his granddaughter is mixed. She looks like a little black girl. Okay. So clearly whether his daughter or son, I don't know if it's his granddaughter through his daughter or his son. But baby, when I tell you that girl gives him the blues, and she got him wrapped right here.
I bet you
right here on her little pinky. But yeah, he's bipolar in real life, and he's talked about that being bipolar in real life.
Okay, that's cool.
Because sometimes when he's not there, when if you over the years, there have been times where Sonny has abruptly just been gone.
Yes, I've wondered.
He in real life is dealing with.
Oh, okay. So prayers up for him, though. You know,
not that the new one is 132.
I'm laughing at that. Baby, Victor been around since I was a kid.
Me too, and he still look good though.
You know, one thing we got to say about him, I love the man who plays Victor because he is all about black people. The way he went in that, for the last election, we ain't talking about that much, but the way he went up and talked about that other man and defended Kamala,
yes,
I was here for him. And the way that he attacked, when he see racist people tweeting about any other soap operas, he clocks it.
Absolutely. Let me tell you. Okay, we're gonna get back to our notes, but yes, Noah and Julia.
Mm, mm,
Everything, baby. Okay, let's get back to these notes, lady. Okay. So we already talked about how Kat clocked Eva. We already kind of talked
mhm.
about that. Again, I think that I like the fact that Kat clocked Eva, but I do think that she's doing a bit much. Because what's going to happen is she's gonna push everybody away, her mom and her dad. So when she does have real evidence, they're not going to pay attention to it. Okay, what about, we already kind of talked about Leslie being crazy. See, we already kind of talked about my notes, y'all. It seemed like we talking about a lot of other stuff, but we can. Okay, I got Leslie is on here. She crazy as hell. We talked about Eva, how she was dressed at work. Eva, okay, see, we talked about a lot of this, y'all. Eva wants to have her dad confused. Okay, Martin, let's get on Martin.
Oh, Martin pissed me off.
Baby, did you hear the way Martin talked to his husband?
That was what lost me with Martin. It was the way Martin was talking to him. I was like, Martin, have you lost your damn mind? Because see, here's the thing with Smitty. I get that Martin wants to be president, but
oh, we're gonna come back to the president of it all, but go ahead.
but you want your husband to diminish it like you are. So you're not happy with being my husband and the father to our kids, nigga.
Not only that, but for you to be like, you're gonna stick to the plan and play your position. Do I make myself clear? Who the fuck are you talking to?
That was what I was thinking. Like, who the fuck you talking to, nigga? Now I know he can't say nigga, but we can. But nigga, who you talking to? When I tell y'all, I would have got up and said, you know what, you done lost your motherfucking mind.
Right, because them kids almost grown. So you can have this house, you can have them kids.
Deuces.
Because let's call a thing a thing. In today's world, all he got to do is open up a laptop, get him a mic, get him a camera, and he can have a whole podcast from his house talking about politics and doing this or whatever. I even understand if Martin was coming from the point of view of it being a conflict of interest, saying, hey,
that's what I was thinking.
I don't mind you going back to journalism, but can we put some parameters in place so there's no conflicts? Can you not discuss Congress? Can you just do local politics? Can you not like I even understood if that was a conversation, but baby, the way he hit him with the you gonna play your position and stick to what we agreed to. See, now see here, I'm gonna call a thing a thing. If Smitty had been a woman and Martin had talked to Smitty that way, y'all would have, and when I say y'all, I ain't talking about the people, but the people who everybody be up in arms.
Ready to fight Martin.
Yeah.
Because I clocked it. I was like, that is diminishing. You're putting him, you are reducing him as a person. Like,
yes,
you are reducing him. I get it. You're a politician. He's a reporter. I get that. You could set, like you just said, you could set parameters about, like, okay, don't talk about anything that has to do with my campaign. Don't talk about anything that I'm pushing in Congress. Don't talk about anything, especially with about the whole Danny situation when she put out the gun. Don't talk to anybody about the family stuff. Like, let's just leave it at that. You can talk about, whatever other politicians are doing. You can discuss, like, I'm assuming Martin is a Democrat. So you can talk about the Republican Party. Talk about the mess that they're doing. You can talk about anything else. You can talk about anything else. But when it comes to our household, our family, that's the line, and that's the line in the sand. Don't cross that line. You can go back to work and do whatever you want to do, but for him just to diminish, it's like, wow, you really don't. I mean, what value do you see in your husband besides a ring and y'all 2 kids and the quote unquote picture perfect? Which that's another thing that kind of threw me. It's like, y'all aren't the picture perfect image because you're an interracial couple, you're gay, and y'all have adopted kids. Those are 3 negatives.
I don't even feel no chemistry. Do you feel chemistry? I don't even feel no chemistry.
Not really. Like, those are 3 negatives. The 2 negatives for you guys are really that you both are gay and in an interracial marriage. Like, people, they ain't gonna see it for that.
Yeah, I'm not here for this. But it does make me wonder, because I feel like, I will say this. So this week we got a different look on Martin. Like, we knew last week that Martin had a secret, but it was almost like we felt, I'm gonna speak for myself, but it was almost like I felt sorry for Martin because I felt like whatever the secret was, the family feels like he's not strong enough to handle the reality. And so they're basically like protecting him, even to the expense of Danny. But now this week, after seeing how Martin was moving, I'm like, I ain't feeling this, Martin.
I don't feel
I
new.
think Martin is a jerk. I feel like Martin is an asshole. And I'm not sure what the whole details are, but baby, when this secret comes out, we're gonna find out. Now let's talk about this him running for president situation.
Yeah,
Nicole seemed real happy about it, but in the previews for next week,
Martin is upset.
baby, granddaddy is like, the hell is wrong with you?
Exactly.
So I feel like you do somewhat know that you have skeletons in your closet. You may not know to the extent of them, but you know you have skeletons in your closet. So it's almost like, why are you even opening yourself up to this, sir?
Exactly. And your family don't cover it up, and it doesn't help that somehow Bill is involved in this. It doesn't help. It doesn't help that Bill is involved. So Bill, but you know what though? Here's the thing. I was gonna say something, but I'm thinking differently because I was thinking Bill would either way it go. Bill will use if he runs for president. Bill's gonna use that to his advantage one or two ways. Either he uses it to blackmail him, the family further, or he releases whatever he knows. But I think Bill is more calculated and will say, "Okay, you want to run for president? That's cute. That's cute." But remember, I did this for y'all. So anything that I need from the office of the president, remember, like set it off when Queen Latifah had the woman's driver's license and she tapped her chest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it gives with Bill is I got your driver's license right here. Remember this. So, I just don't understand him wanting to run for president. It doesn't make sense, especially I think that's why Vernon's gonna be mad. It's like, motherfucker. We covered up. I think it's he pound somebody or
I feel like he did too. I think he unalived somebody.
Yeah, I think he did.
But I think it was a borderline between whether it was self-defense or not.
That's what I've been wondering if it's self-defense.
Yeah, I don't feel like he just straight up went out there. I think he did something that might have been like manslaughter. Mm-hmm. But because of the because of the family connections and all of that, they was like, yeah, we can't even take that chance. Like,
they swept it under the rug. So, for him to want to do that, I think it's stupid, but
we kind of already talked about Ashley and Derek. We don't care. Okay. Leslie and Eva, we kind of already see. Yeah, we talked about a lot of this.
I know another story we haven't talked about is Chelsea and her hooking up with their couple.
We gonna it's in the notes.
Chelsea.
So is the real estate agent. We getting there, y'all. I gotta go through my notes because if I don't, then I'm gonna get off here and be like, "Oh, I wanted to talk about." So let me go through my notes now. Nicole not believing Eva is bad. Okay, we said that.
That's gonna blow up in her face.
Okay, here we get to the realtor and her husband. Now, the realtor being a hoe, I kind of saw that last week. I mean, I didn't trust her last week. She married to the black man. He's a surgeon. But the bigger story, because before we get off of her and get on the husband, you clearly either you don't care about getting caught or you want to get caught. Because why are you straight up sucking this man down in public? What are we doing here?
It was the country club for me when he was like, he looking for a house for his friend. And he was like, I'm going to give you what you've been wanting. She's like, about damn time. And took him in the closet. I was like, girl, your husband is right. Your husband and your friends are here.
See, and you literally are at the country club. Like, it's not like don't nobody know you, ma'am. You are a whole member. They got cameras everywhere. Ma'am, like, you were literally getting ready to show him a house. Y'all was going to have a whole empty house to do whatever y'all wanted to do.
But when she took that man in their room closet, I said, girl, you must. But somebody said it in the chat, and I was wondering this too. Xavier said, I think they might have an open marriage.
But I still need you to be discreet in the place where we frequent with each other. I still need you to be discreet. Like when they were at the bar and she straight up tonguing him down, like Danny could have doubled back. Maybe Danny had forgot one of them shopping bags.
When
and
that
you
man
straight up tonguing this man down in the middle of the damn bar.
Yeah, when he said, you left your phone. And she gonna grab him. And I said, again, lady, public places.
That's a good one, I might have to start keeping like a spreadsheet and give y'all points when y'all say stuff and because baby, that's a good one, vehicular homicide for Martin. I do not think it's something intentional, but I do think it's something that could have derailed his whole political career had they let it go down.
Now, you know what? Yes. I do believe that Danny knows what she's doing because Danny kind of alluded to it when she was at the bar.
She did.
Kind of alluded to it because she was like, I've heard that he finds the woman's G-spot. I'm like, Vanessa, know that.
That is true. And she did kind of look over and saw he was staring. So I think Danny, because Danny and Vanessa are friends. So I think she kind of know how Vanessa moves. But child, we put that to the side because don't nobody care about that. Let's talk about her husband. What's his name? Stop it. Doug. Okay. Doug is a gambler. Now,
A
can
bad
we
one at
talk?
that.
Can we start for a minute? Now, okay. If I'm going to give any criticism to this week, this is where my criticism falls. And let me say why. I'm here for the gambler storyline. That's classic soap opera. Somebody got to owe somebody some money. I'm here for it. But I feel like this, you're not going to come. And I know that just because you are book smart doesn't make you street smart. I understand that. But here's a man that has built he make it sound like the gambling got bad when the kids left and they had the empty nest syndrome, yada, yada, yada. I get all of that. But and I get you desperate. I get it. But you mean to tell me that you going to climb up in this man's car in the middle of this parking lot? This man is the owner of the casino, but he can't meet you in his office. This man owns the casino where you owe. They won't even tell us how much it is because that's how much money you owe, sir. And the man says to you, I did you a favor. Now you owe me a favor. And you don't even ask. You don't have no questions. You don't have no thoughts. You don't even hesitate to take a tip. This man paid off a debt for you on a level that, like I said, it probably got a couple of commas in it. You took extra money.
Exactly.
And you don't have no questions. No hesitation, no thoughts.
It was him taking that extra money for me.
They rushed into that because they would have had to give us a couple of weeks of desperate for me to believe that there was no, like, you have to show me that he's that desperate to take that and not have any hesitation.
Exactly.
Like, he needed to get beat up by somebody. He needed to have his wife.
The black dude, his friend,
see more to this.
His friend alluded to that when he was talking to him. He was like, "My boss don't play that. Don't play." Like he said, "I want to keep my kneecaps, and I'm sure you want to keep yours."
And he even said, "Go to your wife. She the one that got the money." So now we know that Vanessa really got money. That she do real estate because she ain't got nothing. But she just passing time. That Vanessa is the money in the family. He was like, "Go to your wife," but that makes me feel like he can't go to Vanessa.
Right, baby. When he took that money, I was like, "Dude, you know that." Because I'm like, you're a surgeon, just like with Ted. I'm like, you don't realize that this man, he's the owner of the casino. He pays off your debt and then gives you extra. Like, you don't think that there's
it was an extra for me. I said, now y'all landed on too thick. You giving us extra. Now you doing too much.
Like he wants you to be indebted to him, and I really think it's going to come in the form of something with his profession.
Yeah, I see it being something like you're now going to become like a concierge, on-call doctor to all of his. So like when he shoots somebody or somebody get beat up, you got to show up in the middle of the night to patch them up off the book. Like I feel like it's going to be something along those lines. Does he do plastic surgery?
Yeah, I think he's a plastic. Like it's going to be something that he got to do for him in return for that money.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's going to be that. But again, no question. They could have given us this same storyline, but I feel like they rushed it.
Yeah.
To be on that, because listen, people who have addictions do get to that level of desperate. But you got to showing me that he lost 1 or 2 card games and that he went to his childhood friend and asked for a loan. That don't give me the level of desperate I need him to be at to put his whole career on the line.
What they should have done, what they could have done was they could have showed us what the dollar amount was that, Joey paid off. If they showed us that, then maybe that, but it still don't make sense for him to pay off his, like, I don't know if he just, which we ain't saw that level of desperation yet, but if it led up to it, like we could see, okay, yeah, he paid off that debt, but then why would you take more money to put yourself back into debt with someone else? That's nonsensical.
Yeah, that, like I said, if I have any criticism for this week, that's the one I have, because that's the only one that I was like, come on, y'all. Like, again, you gave me classic soap opera storyline. I'm here for the gambler. I'm here for we gotta have one underworld person. We got our Sonny Corinthos of it all. We know we got to do that, but I'm just side-eyeing how y'all kind of accelerated that, because we just found out that man was a gambler on Tuesday, and then by Friday or Thursday, you got the man in the back of the car taking envelopes and money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
You got to slow walk us into that. You got to give us a little bit more. Okay. Now, Chelsea, we learned a little bit more about Miss Chelsea this week too, didn't we?
We did.
Chelsea met that man at the bar, and we thought it was just the innocent old man was flirting her at the bar. We come to find out Chelsea got a whole threesome situation going on with the man and his
wife.
Wife, yeah.
Can I say one thing? That man's acting was bad.
Terrible.
Oh my God, I couldn't
Yeah,
get to
that
that.
was Tyler Perry. His acting belonged over onto the Tyler Perry.
Oh, his acting was so terrible. But what I was so shocked because you see Vanessa, not what Naomi, and you see Naomi looking at Chelsea them, and I was like,
Keep
she was like,
talking,
oh,
JB. I'll be right back.
okay. She was like, you see a man flirting with her, and I was like, okay. But when his wife came, she was like, he was like, that's his wife. I was like, oh, not his wife. And she said, I've been waiting to meet you. Chelsea, a little freak. Was not expecting that coming from Danny Dupree and Bill's daughter. Not expecting no freak, but I like it. I do like the storyline. Damn it. Which Chelsea's a freak. Not Chelsea's a freak hoe. Not Chelsea's a freak hoe, y'all.
But I think the cousin knows. I think the cousin knows.
I do too. Yeah, because she wasn't surprised when Kat went up there and she said a couple. I was like, so you ain't gonna say girl a couple? I think that the family probably. Let's just say Kat knows. I don't think the rest of the family knows, but I think Kat knows. I think that they have a really close knit relationship with each other, Kat and Chelsea. Because if you see how they interacted with each other on the rooftop, even Chelsea was telling Kat like, "Girl, you are a little stuck up."
Mm-hmm.
So it may be you might be doing a little bit too much. But I mean, I wasn't expecting when she said when that man's wife came up and said, he's like, "Oh, there go my wife." She said, I've been waiting to meet you." I said, "Say what now, girl?"
Yes, okay. And then she kissed her and they walked off.
I was like, "Oh." My mouth
Okay.
dropped.
See, that's that
But I like
modern.
it though, 'cause this
That's
is
that
different.
modern twist. That's that modern
Yes.
twist. Yes.
I like them like this is going a different direction. It's not so cookie cut. I was like, okay. I like it because I was like, I would have never guessed that with Chelsea.
Never Chelsea. Never. So I was here for it. Now, I think the last thing, well, not one of the last things I have on my notes. See, y'all, we have gone through almost all these notes, even while taking our pauses. Okay, we done good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this Naomi, her husband, the super cop, and how he came through and his own guilt made him arrest Danny. Because let's be clear. Well, not her own guilt, because Bill did have something to do with that.
Yeah,
but let's be clear. Your daddy, who's the police chief, told you to chill out. Let it go.
He did. I was so confused by that because when you talk to your dad says, you did the right thing, and basically saying, you know how the Duprees are, and he's still beating. I'm like, why are you still beating yourself up?
Right. I should have done more. I can't believe I didn't. And he was like, bruh, that was your wife and your wife's family. That's a whole different conversation. And we get it. You're good, sir.
Mm-hmm.
See, I said, this whole super cop thing is going to get on my nerves.
It is.
Let me tell you something. So Bill has a piece of it. We know Bill feels some kind of way. He got a piece of it. But here's what pissed me off. When you called your wife, why you ain't tell your wife what was up? That whole, just know I love you more than you'll ever understand. I love you so much. Don't do that. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Exactly. Don't give me the whole I love you, and then you show up down to my grandparents' house to arrest my mama. And baby, Vernon knew. The minute he came in the house, Vernon was like, "Oh, this is not a social call."
He did.
Vernon saw it. He knew.
But you know what I will say though? I think Bill did it. I think the real reason why Bill did that, it had nothing to do with the wedding. Because after the wedding, he done moved on from it. It was the fact that she came to the house. She had that conversation with Haley in the living room. He was like, I could have swore I heard Danny's voice. She was like, you didn't hear Danny's voice because she was here. He felt the way that, how I divorced her. I married my bride, prop her up. How dare you show your face at my new house with my new bride? Like that, it was for him. He felt like, oh, you had the audacity to come over to my place and talk to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Bill heard that conversation. I feel like he was eavesdropping because if you listen to that conversation, she wasn't even, Danny wasn't even talking about herself so much. She was talking about the fact is like, how dare you infiltrate my family through my daughter, and now you're her stepmother? Yeah. Like, Haley, that's fucked up. And like I said in the live when you started, like, how can I don't know anybody who, like, how are people defending Haley? Like you said, if you're defending Haley, you must be
Haley. If you defending Haley, you are Haley. That's all I. And I'm sorry if that hit if the hit dog gonna holler, baby. If you find a way to defend Haley, you are Haley. Powerful, that's what I think it is. Powerful said, I think Bill was ear hustling. I do too. I think Bill heard the conversation, and I think that because let's call a thing. Bill likes having Danny unhinged.
He does.
Bill likes the fact that he got Danny in her feelings and acting crazy and running around town looking like a fool. He takes solace in that. And I think that because he does know Danny as well as he does, I think he heard something in Danny's voice that was like, oh, wait a minute.
We moving on.
We moving on. And now it was like, I gotta get you back I gotta get you back on my hook.
Back in.
I think that was part of it too. I do.
I think exactly what it was. Like, because I definitely believe Bill was listening to that conversation longer than what he pretended that he heard. Because even when she went home to her parents, she was like, you know, you could say Bill who, and I'd be like, you could say Bill, and I'd be like, Bill who. I'm like, it ain't that easy, ain't it? But I get what you're saying. It's time for me to pick up the pieces of my life, move on, say fuck Bill, he with Haley, fuck her too, and live my life. And yes, Harold, I do know I don't see it for Haley. Ain't gonna ever see it for Haley.
I ain't got nothing. And like I said, Haley got something for y'all. For all these people, I'm telling y'all, Haley is not as naive and innocent as she pretends to be. It's something with her real family lineage that's connected to the Duprees. I don't know what. I don't know. Maybe Haley's real mama was Nicole's rival in the modeling agency. I don't know, but there's a real connection between Haley's fake her so not Team Haley. Sir James.
No.
Sir James, man, you gotta talk. Me and you gotta talk.
That's my boo. No.
James, that's my boo too. That's my boo. He don't mean it, y'all. He trolling. Sir James don't mean it. Sir James don't mean it.
Baby, Team Haley.
That's my boo right there. He don't mean it.
But yeah, I mean,
I think Haley's real. When we find out who Haley really is, I'm telling you, something in her family lineage is connected to the Duprees. I don't know what it is though. I don't know what it is.
It could be, because it's just weird to me how she like it. I do want to say at least I hope they give us a backstory on Haley and Naomi, because I would really love to know how they became. I'm assuming they probably became friends. Had to be in school somewhere.
You know what I would love that they did with Haley? And excuse me, Beyond the Gates people, if you take my storyline, I want credit. But you know what I would love to see them do with Haley? And again, not right now, because we got enough going on right now. Maybe in about 6 months. This what I would love to see y'all do. I need a road trip with Danny and Naomi. And I need y'all doing a road trip to find who the real Haley is. I need y'all to really do some investigative, like, wait a minute, we've been pretending, and take Stewie with you. Take Martin's husband, because you know he the reporter. Take him with y'all, and y'all give us a good old-fashioned Oprah Gayle road trip for y'all to find out who the real Haley is. I'm telling you, I would be here for that. And if you take, excuse me, writers, if you take that storyline, just give me credit. But I'm here for it. Somebody said Haley is the Brooke, Erica, Nikki of the show. I used to like Brooke, though. Brooke was the character that I feel like they never really knew what to do with. They just stuck her places. Had her dating random people. Like, I just feel like, because Brooke dated everybody, but there was never no real
She definitely gives, I will say, she definitely does give Nikki 100%. I definitely do see Nikki in her.
Oh, yeah.
And I ain't never saw it for Nikki. I ain't never saw it for Nikki. Even though they tried to make, I ain't never saw it for Nikki.
And I never really watched The Young and the Restless like that, but I was never Nikki. I was never here for Nikki either, child. I was never here for Nikki. But yeah, Brooke, I liked, but remember, Brooke was the reporter too. So yeah, Brooke would be perfect. We need a reporter, because I'm telling y'all, I feel like Naomi is going to start reminiscing on all the things that Haley told her, and maybe start, now that Haley has let her guard down because she got what she wanted, I feel like she's going to start seeing some cracks in the story and be like, And let me tell you what's going to happen. And this will probably be about a year, 2 years down the line. This can't happen real soon. Baby, when Bill finally see it and figure it out, ooh-wee.
You know, I don't know who I want to get karma first, Bill or Haley.
Child, they can both get as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. They get it at the same time. When I think about it, I really, because it's fucked up on both sides. Like with Bill, well, y'all both fucked over your ex-wife and your daughter. But like Bill has more of an allegiance to your wife and your flesh and blood daughter. But then Haley infiltrates the family and you become friend. Like, how do you become friends with somebody and then sleep with their daddy? That means you was always looking at that man at some point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and the one thing that I caught that Danny said and I was here for it, when Danny went to the house, Danny was like, listen, it was bad enough that we took you into our house. We treated you like one of our own. But once you started sleeping with my husband, why you ain't back off? Why were you still smiling in my face? Why were you still calling me when you needed something? Why were you still allowing me to be that surrogate mother to you, knowing you? She said you didn't miss a beat. See, that when Danny said that, I said,
It was
okay.
calculated.
I said, yeah. And that's why I said Haley knew what she was doing. Because even just common decency, if I'm sleeping with your man, I was going to tell y'all some of my business. I'm not going to tell y'all that. But let me say, but if I'm sleeping with your man, like I can't smile in your face. Now, I never slept with nobody man, for y'all take that story and run with it. I ain't never slept with nobody man that I was friends with. We ain't going to go down that level. But let's say it was a coworker.
Right. Sips tea.
That I was cool with, not friends. But even then, it was like, I can't be sitting here. I can't do this.
Peeking and smiling out in your face.
Yeah.
But that speaks volumes to who Haley is. The fact that you could still be having a relationship with Bill and still maintain a friendship with Danny and with Naomi. Like, you are a grimy, disgusting person, because there's the level of guilt that I would feel, be like, damn, I'm fucking her man and I'm still befriending this bitch and calling her, asking her for advice and stuff. Nah. I somehow, some way, that friendship would just have to, just go by the wayside. And then when it come out, like, yeah, girl, that's why the friendship ended, because I was banging your man. My bad.
And here's the thing: the reality of the situation is, I'm not even going to allow myself to get close enough to you for me to even think that I feel thoughts for your husband/boyfriend if me and you are friends. There's just now the reality is, you can look at somebody and find them attractive. You can even listen. I have friends who I think their husbands are great. Like, they are great men. They have done great by my friends. They're great fathers. But at no point in time have I ever said, but I want him for me. I've never done that. I can acknowledge that somebody's a good man. I even have friends who have met men with money, okay? Just like with Bill. And I'm like, I enjoy the benefits, the fruit of their labor, of the husband, of their boyfriend, husband spending money on them. Okay, you got a little extra change, we can go somewhere real nice. Oh, you gonna pick up the bill? Okay, cool. But it has never occurred to me for me to be like, Like, I just don't even understand when that, because even if you start having those thoughts, maturity and being an adult is not acting on those thoughts. You don't act on every impulse you have.
But here's another thing. We don't know how old these people are. That's another thing. We don't know how old they are. Because I wonder if Haley is like maybe her early 30s, and we don't know how long ago this happened. But we know how long ago this happened for them to get a divorce. But we don't know how long this relationship has been going on, because it could have been a situation where maybe, she was in her 20s and she linked up with him. It's an older man with money, with power, who is quote unquote influencing a younger girl. Like, so there are a lot of things that they need to explore, that we need to find out when it comes to this relationship. I see a lot of people saying who initiated the relationship. I honestly feel like it's Bill.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Seeing how Bill's moving in the whole control factor, whatever, I believe it could have been Bill. Now, Sir James, what we are not gonna make excuses for bad behavior. Sir James talking about some Bill and Danny were over long before Haley came along. First of all, they were still married. So as far as I'm concerned,
that's the problem.
As long as they were married, that's bullshit for Bill to be like, I have been miserable for so long. Then fucking get divorced.
Divorce her.
Your kids were grown. You can't use your kids as an excuse. I feel I have a big problem with that whole we were over, we weren't happy. First of all, don't speak for me. Don't tell me that I wasn't happy, because if I didn't go nowhere, I was happy.
Exactly.
But if you weren't happy, don't use that as an excuse now that you didn't had an affair. And like Danny said, Danny was like, listen, he had cheated on me before. I admit that. But this was different.
Because
that
it's
woman
at
was
home.
in my house.
This is literally in her house that's happening.
She had infiltrated our family. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we can't defend that. We can't say the marriage was over. Yeah, it may have been over for him, but it wasn't over for Danny. And if it was over for him, he should have said, you know what, Danny, this ain't working out. Let us get a divorce and be done with it. And then he can go. It's one thing that it would be one thing if he said, okay, I'm not in love with you anymore. I don't want to be in this marriage anymore. Let's go ahead and get a divorce. Then y'all do all the, do what you got to do to get a divorce. Then he go be with Haley and be like, oh, so you must have been. And I don't think Danny she would have been pissed, but she wouldn't have been as pissed because it's like, okay, y'all may have had an affair, but when y'all got together, when y'all went public, we were already divorced at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now y'all are public, and the day that our divorce is finalized, that's when y'all send out y'all fucking wedding invitations. So y'all motherfuckers had already been playing in Danny's face.
Exactly. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to make an announcement. Excuse me. Immediately after this, I'm going over to my main channel to talk about the cruise. I already had the redirect set up, so you ain't got to do nothing. If you already in the chat and you want to go hear about the cruise, meet me over there. But this is the last but not least. Leslie on the roof. That's where we left off. I think that's the last thing we saw was they went and got Nicole. They said there's a crazy bitch on the roof and she calling you by name. First of all, that would have already put, when I got to the roof and I realized that person wasn't one of my patients, that would have put hands up. Because how you asking for me by name and I don't know you?
Like, how do you know me?
Mm-hmm. But it makes me wonder what we saw when Eva was in the office. Eva got the tribute video, but she was wasn't she also looking for patient records? So was she trying to put the mother in there? Like, was she doing something with the patient records to try to set that up?
That's what I was confused about, because I don't know if she was either looking for somebody. You know what? I think that's probably what it is. She probably was trying to make up some fake records and but I mean, Nicole is, she may see a lot of people, but I think she would know her patients by name and face.
Yeah. And is that why she had that ugly wig on?
Oh, God.
Because that wig was horrible. I don't know what was going on.
That wig was atrocious.
I don't know what was going on with that wig. Because
I want the wig to go over.
Again, right. Again, Eva definitely feels some kind of way. She know that woman crazy. And I think the longer she's around them, she's starting to question her mother's version of the story.
Harold and I, we talked about this on social media. Like, I do. So here's the thing. As much as I don't see it for Eva, I feel bad for Eva because Eva is only going off of this story that Leslie is telling her. So she only knows Leslie's side. She doesn't know Ted's side. Because here's the thing. How do we know for a fact that Ted even knew that Leslie was pregnant?
Because it sounds like when she got pregnant is when he left for that conference and met Nicole. That's what it sounds like, that all that happened around the same time. So like you said, if it was a one-night stand, how would he even know that woman was pregnant? And once he got back from the conference, it sounded like his nose was wide open and it was all about Nicole. I don't think Eva is Ted's daughter. I don't either. I think Eva is Ted's brother's daughter. I'm telling y'all, that's what I think.
Yeah, I don't think Ted knows anything. I think Leslie is just crazy as hell, and this woman done cooked up a whole scenario in her head and just out for revenge. Because, like, lady.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that Ted knows who that girl is. I mean, he doesn't. Again, he doesn't know that I don't believe that Leslie, because Leslie's trying to make it seem like, oh, he kicked me to the curb once he found his, and I came from the wrong side of the railroad tracks, and he never wanted to have nothing to do with me. I don't believe none of that. At this point, I don't even believe, like I said, I believe that Ted, and this is my soap opera brain working. I believe Ted was a twin, and I believe she got pregnant by the twin, and maybe the twin was using his brother. Maybe he was pretending to be his brother. He's a doctor, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I really believe that Eva is the brother's child. I don't
Now,
believe it had nothing to do with him. But I
here's
will
another
reserve
scenario.
it to see next week and see what, because it does look like there's some recognition, but I'll wait and
Yeah.
see what that recognition is.
Now I have another scenario that I've been thinking about.
Okay, yes, I'm
So
here for it.
when it comes to Ted, I've been thinking about this too, because again, we both say we don't believe this whole "I love my," yes, he probably loves his wife, but not the way that he's putting it on. It's a little thick. But here's the thing. So think about the kids, right? You got Martin, who's the oldest. So Martin is somewhere in his 30s, right? Kat is somewhere in her early mid 20s, right? Eva looks like she's in between. Eva look like she could be. She look like she's a little bit older than Kat, but younger than Martin. So what if this is a situation where maybe Ted had an affair again, and he wouldn't know about this child? Because I do believe she's older than again, I believe she's older than Kat, but I do also believe she's very much so younger than Martin is. So she is in between somewhere. So I think there could be some kind, if this is his child, there must be an affair that he has covered up and he don't want Nicole to find out about.
Harold said that my theory is the running theory on social media, so we're gonna go with that. Woo woo. But I hear you. I hear you. Sir James, I'm so disappointed in you. I love you. You know I love you to the ground. But baby, you out here defending Haley. That makes me side eye you a little bit, Sir James. I gotta side eye you a little bit now, but I still love you though, boo. I still love you. The producer said that a lot will come out in the end of April just in time for May sweeps. Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is right, sweet.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. That's the other thing about classic soaps is when them sweeps week came, baby, everything used to go down during sweeps week. Planes was crashing, ships was getting wrecked on the island with Gilligan. Baby, extra babies was showing up. Affairs was being exposed, baby. Sweeps week used to be.
I miss sweeps week. Oh, baby.
Because isn't it twice a year? Don't they do that in the fall and in the spring, baby?
Again, I'm gonna age myself because I used to go. When me and my mom used to go to the grocery store, soap opera digest.
I used to read soap opera digest. Yes.
At the counter, I'd be sitting at the counter just reading the soap opera digest, see what's coming up this week, and then see what they saying about the sweeps for the. I'm like,
yes.
Oh.
I used to even read, I used to really read soap opera digest before, of course, before VCRs and stuff were a thing. That's how I used to keep up when I wasn't watching it.
I had a subscription to soap opera digest.
Now I never have a subscription, but baby, I bought it on a regular basis. But there was also a blog. I can't remember. It was a blog I used to read that would give you all the synopsis of the week, baby.
Yep. Back in the 2000s, I took it out of the magazine. I took it out of the soap opera digest magazine, and I filled it out. And they send me weekly soap. They send me the weekly soap every week.
Yes.
I used to get it every week. That's how devoted I was because I was in school.
Do I have a mod in here? Xavier, you not a mod over here? I want to drop JB's chat link in the chat. Oh shit.
Like I used to be so God. I used to be when I say religious to soap operas. So here's a funny little fact when it comes to soap operas. So me and my mom, like I said, she used to watch soap operas when I was, a kid and before that, right? So when I got into it, with me being in school, I couldn't watch them during the day. Now sometimes I would skip school. I'd be like sick if I know a big storyline is coming up.
Not you would cut school if the storyline came through.
I would be like, I would be sick in a heartbeat if I knew a big storyline was that I wanted to know the ending of it. I would be at home. But then with the VCR, I finally learned how to record, and I learned how to record on a timer. So I will record all my children first, because all my children came on in Dallas up here. In my hometown, we could watch the Dallas version, or we could watch the one in my hometown, which was the current episode. The one in Dallas will be a day behind. So I could watch the Dallas one at 11 o'clock. Then I could watch Days of Our Lives at noon. Then I could record Passions at 1 o'clock. And then I can record General Hospital at 2 o'clock. And so when I got home from school, I would start with all my children. Watch that. My mama, she stopped watching those, but when it got to Passion, like tap on my room, let me know when you get the Passion so I can come in here and watch it. And so that was our thing to do every night when I got home from school is watch Passions together. But yeah, I mean, when I say I'm true to soap operas, y'all, I am true to this genre.
I'm about to age myself right here. I was in college, and this was before long distance was free.
Ooh.
And yes, I'm about to age myself.
I remember. I do remember long distance being charged.
Baby, I used to call my mama Because my mother used to watch All My Children Want Life to Live, General Hospital. And I would call my mother and we would be on the phone talking about what happened on the soaps. And my daddy, it never failed. After about 15, 20 minutes, my father would be like, I know y'all not running up my phone bill talking about them damn people on TV. Baby, me and my mama used to be there talking ish. And my mom, it never failed. It would take my daddy a minute to realize that we weren't talking about like people in real life. And he would be like, I know y'all not running up my phone bill.
Here's the thing. If you heard me and my mama talking about Passions and the way that I hated Gwen, if y'all watch Passions and y'all know Gwen and Rebecca, the way that I hated them bitches, and me and my mom would talk about it. If you heard us talking about Gwen and Rebecca, you would think that they were real fucking people. The way that I would go off about them too and cuss them out every week. But my mom, people would be like, because we would talk about it sometimes around our family, and they'd be like, "Who are y'all talking about?" And I'm like, and my grandma, like, my big mom, like, they talking about the soap operas. They'd be like, "Oh," because we think my family would think like we talking about real people. Like, no, I'm talking about a soap opera. Even the way I talk about Ava on General Hospital, the way I talk about Ava to people, they're like, "Is she a real person?" I'm like, "No, she's not a real person, but I hate that bitch." Like, when I tell you guys, I hate Ava Jerome. Oh, it is. I
don't even understand. She is a waste. Like, she has done nothing good since she's been on this show.
You know what? The storyline that pissed me off with Ava was when she killed Connie.
Yeah,
I liked Connie.
Yeah,
and the fact that she got away with it, it was. But
and that's never boy. I mean, I know that. Sonny is not very discerning about where he slings his penis, but I just never bought that Sonny would ever sleep with her. Like, I just never bought that.
And behind Morgan's back, your son.
Yeah, I just never bought that.
And that was the other thing that pissed me off with Ava was with her and Julian and Olivia, what they did with what happened with Morgan in that car. The General Hospital recycle storylines. I've noticed that over the years too, because that happened when the thing that happened with Morgan. Didn't it happen with Sonny's first wife, Lily?
Yeah.
Didn't Lily blow up?
Yeah, Lily did blow up. Yep. Lily blew up. All right, y'all. So Vintage asked me, do I remember Santa Barbara? I absolutely remember and love Santa Barbara. The Castillos I remember A. Martinez was on there. My girl that ended up marrying what's his face? Robin Wright was on there. I absolutely love me some Santa Barbara. That was my show. But yeah, I gotta go because I got a 1 o'clock live schedule over on my other channel. JB, thank you so much for coming up. And look, you guys, me and JB, when we can, we gonna link up and we gonna give y'all some good soap opera conversation. Now, today was good. We're gonna keep this going. I'll be over on his channel. He'll be over here. Don't forget, we are already together on Wednesday nights talking the Real Housewives of the Beverly Hills. I put his link in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and y'all get over there. Because he gonna do it all over again on his channel. So y'all get over there. And if you want to go on this cruise with me, y'all get over here to my main channel. I'm about to give y'all all the details and the breakdown of this cruise situation. JB, you should come with us. We're gonna have a good time, honey.
I will.
It's gonna be February. It's gonna be Super Bowl weekend of 2026. It's a 3-day cruise.
Give me the details.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna give it to everybody, child. It's a 3-day cruise, child. We're gonna have ourselves a good time. All right. Thank you, Harold. We're gonna get out of here, y'all. And I did redirect the chat. So if y'all want to hear about the cruise, just hold tight. It's gonna take you directly to that video. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm out.
Bye, y'all.
Me and this damn cough, honey.